Hi, good evening everybody. In this video, we're going to take a look at my 5 favorite players that were non-Sabres of all time. Coming up. Alright guys, should be a bit of fun. Shouldn't be that long of a video, but man, when I get to talking about players like this, I probably will be one that goes a little longer than I anticipate. So this is a video night for you guys that have sent me some requests, and here's the request for this one. The shout out goes to Christian Wagner. He goes, Wayne, you were who were your non-Sabres, I'm guessing not none, non-Sabres who played? And mine of course was Gretzky, Bossy, but hated Boston. Gilafleur, but hated the Habs. Love watching him though. Yes, Christian. We got similar names, I'll tell you right now, on my list. So we're going to go through my list. I didn't even bring it in here with me, but I just know off the top of my head. So let's go with, actually, I guess I should go from number 5 up, eh? So I got number 1 on here right now. Let me get number 5 up, and I'll put these clips for you guys. Here's number 5. Mike Bossy, without a doubt, in my mind, the greatest goal scorer I'll ever see in my lifetime. I don't think I'll ever see a guy that can score like this ever again. Really, guys, I just don't think it'll happen. And for you kids out there that are in your 20s that didn't see him play, and you're saying, what about Ovechkin? Ovechkin is, in my opinion, the greatest power forward I've ever seen. But Mike Bossy, you just look at those numbers. 53 goals, 69 goals, 51, 68, 64, 60, 51, 58, 61, and 38 in the last season of his career where he was injured, and that's the only reason he didn't get 50 another season there. Mike Bossy, folks, is, without a doubt, in my mind, the greatest goal scorer this league has ever seen. Just ever. He's not only the best, he's a runaway. He's a runaway. This guy had a good backhand. He had a good snapshot. He had a good slap shot. He had a good wrist shot. Caught any shot you want to name. He could pick off corners. He could throw it through the goalie's legs. He could even deke. You know, like, just Mike Bossy was so gifted, so natural. And when you look at his numbers in Laval, 70 goals, 84, 79, 75, just didn't stop. It didn't stop. And to think we passed up on this guy for Rick Sealing. Okay, let me get number 4. That just drives me nuts. It's the worst mistake in Buffalo Sabres history, was not drafting this guy. That's my opinion. Okay, number 4. Here we go. And the flower comes in at number 4 for me, without a doubt. Gilafleur was absolutely one of the most exciting players in NHL history. And if you look at his seasons between 74 and 75, right through the 79-80 season, he had 6 straight 50-goal seasons, led the league in scoring many times in that streak there too as well. Just, I can go on and on about Gilafleur, how exciting he was. And guys, I got to see this guy in his prime because I live in Montreal. Gilafleur, you know, I wanted to go to his funeral and I couldn't. I just couldn't that day. I was committed out and I just couldn't go. But Gilafleur was, without a doubt for me, the greatest Hab ever. And he is absolutely, you know, you look at his number in the Ramparts, 103 goals in 56 games. 130 goals in 62 games his last year of junior. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Gilafleur was, he was absolutely the guy in Montreal when the team was at the greatest height in their entire history. They had the greatest player of their history, because I believe he is, not the Rocket. I believe Gilafleur is the greatest Hab of all time. And Gilafleur was dominating the NHL. He was the first guy, folks, that I seen ever score off a faceoff. And he's a winger. And I seen him, he was taking a faceoff this night. And he just banged it out of the air in. He just scored. Like, I never seen it. I remember I forget how old I was when I seen it. I must have been 14 or something. I'm like, what was that? Like, I'd never seen it before. He was the first guy I seen ever do that. Gilafleur, absolutely without a doubt, I think is, these are probably, some of the guys I got here, my goodness, I mean, it was just, I can go on and on about these guys. They were so amazing, so amazing. The incredible thing is I got to see them all, and the majority of them played at the same time together, the majority. Number 3, here we go. And let me open up that clip, and there you see Mario the Magnificent, of course, has to make this list without a doubt. Mario Lemieux. Guys, take a look at his last year in junior, will you? 70 games, 133 goals, 149 assists, 282 points. And Mario, if you look at his numbers, he came into the league, 100 points in his rookie season. His second year, 141 points. And then, of course, there was some injuries to deal with. And keep in mind, guys, okay, where they won the Stanley Cup in 1991. Take a look. How many years did Mario play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 complete seasons before they won the Stanley Cup. And keep this in mind, in those 7 years leading up to that playoff, well, I'll say 6 years. We could say 6 to be fair. In those 6 full seasons he played, he won 1 first round. If I'm right, that was against the Rangers. And that was, you see, in 88-89. Yep, I believe it was the Rangers they beat in the first round, and that was it. His first 6 years in the NHL, 1 playoff appearance, 1 first round victory, and not only did he stay there, guys, he became the owner, he saved the team. This was just a legend. We can go on and on and on about how great he is. And, there's just nothing there. I mean, look at his comeback after the 3 years he retires. He comes back in 2001 season, 43 games, 35 goals, 41 assists. He decides to put on skates and does this. My goodness. My goodness. So, yeah, I got to see some pretty special players growing up. Absolutely. All right, number 2. And the great Gretzky comes in at number 2 without a doubt. Gretzky's numbers, guys, are absolutely insane. If you take a look at 1981, the 80-81 season, all the way to the 90-91 season, you got 11 consecutive 100-assist seasons. And keep in mind, Mario only got 100 assists once in his career. Gretzky did it 11 consecutive years. And then you look at the 212 points, 205, 208, 3 consecutive 200-point seasons, the 92 goals. Guys, we can go on and on about Wayne Gretzky. It's just his numbers are absolutely insane, just insane. Wayne Gretzky, of course, I have to say, for me, without a doubt, is the greatest forward the game will ever see. And the kids today, okay, they say, oh, Gretzky never would have lasted in this league. These kids today are so arrogant. Their parents didn't teach them right. Like what they don't take into consideration is there was clutching and grabbing back then, okay? And the difference back then, yeah, you had your guys, you had your goons protecting your stars though back then. Not like today where it's wuss. It's a wuss league now. Now it's just all about speed. It's not as exciting as back then. I'll tell you right now, the league was way more exciting back then. It's not even close, not even close. I love the game so much though, doesn't matter. But the parity in the league now is so good, it's something I wished for. Now I wish it wasn't so much, you know what I mean? I don't like there's so much parity, except I will like it when the Sabres get in the playoffs because it means we have a shot to win the cup. But keep in mind, people say, well, look how small he was then. Well, yeah, but in this day and age, Gretzky would have lighter sticks, lighter skates, lighter equipment. He'd be 20 pounds bigger with no center ice line. Can you imagine the way he would have passed? Forget it. He had the best eyes ever, the best senses ever out there. He had the best smarts ever. Not the fastest forward ever, no, but the best instincts. He just knew where a play was almost 10 seconds before he set it up. Unbelievable. Gretzky comes in at number 2 because who I have at number 1 is the greatest hockey player I've ever seen. Here we go. And Bobby Orr is absolutely the greatest hockey player I ever seen. I don't think we'll see a player like this again either. You know, like, we'll never see a forward like Gretzky again. We'll never see a goal scorer like Mike Bossy again. And I don't believe we're ever going to see a blue liner dominate the league and dominate the entire game like Bobby Orr did again. We're never going to see these kind of players again. Not in my lifetime. You know, and look at his numbers, guys. I mean, just look how insane his numbers are. Really. You see in the beginning, very subtle, 61 games, 41 points, 46 games, 31 points, 67 games, 64 points, and here we go. In the seasons, the rare times that he could play semi-healthy, this guy played on one knee most of his career. He had over 17 surgeries. All right, so in 76 games, 33 goals, 87 assists for 120 points, and take a look the next year. 37 goals, 102 assists, which was an NHL record, and 139 points, leads the league in scoring. And look at his plus minus, guys. A plus 124. Okay, then the next year, 37 goals, 80 assists, 100. Bobby Orr, 8 consecutive Norris trophies. Absolutely the most dominant player I ever seen in my entire life. For me, guys, was so dominant. And what I was watching as a kid, I didn't realize till I got older. And I looked back at these guys, I was like, my goodness, you know, we're never going to see that again. That's why when they compare Cale Makar to this guy now, it tells you not only how stupid this era is, how arrogant it is. You can't do that with your legends, okay? Makar has to become a legend before you can compare him to a legend. He's not a legend. He's a good hockey player right now. I'd like to see him have 17 knee surgeries and do these numbers. If he can, I'd like to see it, you know? I'll tell you right now, they asked Bobby Orr one time, how many knee surgery, and I'm being very, very generous saying only 17 surgeries. They asked Bobby Orr, how many knee surgeries did you have? He said between 17 and 21. They said, how do you not know? He goes, we lost track. He goes, I forget. He said this. He goes, they lost the paperwork to some of them and they couldn't find it. Because there was articles that wanted to know, and there's no set number for sure. Bobby Orr, folks, was just absolutely my favorite player of all time. You know, that was a non-saver. Absolutely, without a doubt. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one.